Hello, thank you for joining us on CoreTV News at 4. I am Ebunlomo Adekunle. Enugu State House of Assembly has commenced an impeachment process against State Governor Sullivan Chime. The accusation levied against him by the lawmakers is high-handedness and corrupt enrichment. The state government has, however, dismissed the alleged plot to remove the governor. Spokesman of the governor, Chukwudi Achife, insists the speaker, Eugene Odo, has been removed and a new speaker elected. The impeachment saga stems from reports that the governor had asked the State Assembly to approve the funds for a secretariat project, but it was turned down by the State Assembly. The unapproved 11 billion naira allegedly led to the power play between members of the House of Assembly and the state government. The governor then allegedly induced some members of the Assembly with some money to impeach the House Speaker, Eugene Odo. The federal government has called on oil marketers to be patriotic in their decisions by considering the interests of Nigerians who always bear the brunt of their actions, noting that they should not, by their actions, hold the country to ransom. The Minister of Finance, Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, while speaking with journalists in Abuja, said contrary to claims by the marketers that they were being owed about 200 billion naira after being paid 156 billion naira last week, what has been owed them is about 131 billion naira. The marketers had claimed that the government's indebtedness to them for oil subsidy was about 354.4 billion naira. Confirming the figure, the Executive Secretary, Major Oil Marketers Association of Nigeria, Thomas Olawore, had said the government had paid 154.2 billion naira out of the 354.4 billion naira and are left with a balance of 200.2 billion naira. But the minister said this figure could not be correct, noting that the balance that is left based on Petroleum Price and Products Regulatory Agency's template is about 131 billion naira. She likens the oil marketers to a small cartel that are into a no-risk business based on templates negotiated with PPPRA long time ago, which factored in exchange rate differential and profit margin guarantee. This situation, she said, leaves them with absolutely no risk. The Senator-elect for Lagos West Senatorial District and Chairman of the House of Representatives Committee on Public Account, Solomon Adiola, wants the incoming government and relevant financial and auditing regulatory bodies to appropriately sanction the auditing firm PricewaterhouseCoopers, PwC, for misleading and deceiving the public. It specifically wants the firm suspended and prevented from further participation in similar exercise undertaken by the federal government. This, according to him, is because of the role the auditors played in the course of investigating the allegation of missing $20 billion NNPC fund. Speaking to journalists against the backdrop of revelations from the forensic audit report of the missing NNPC $20 billion and PwC's position that it did not release audit NNPC accounts contrary to the impression it created, the federal lawmaker said its committee knew what it was doing when it demanded that the report be made public, as there appears many shortcomings in the procedure for engaging PwC for the task. He maintains that the House of Representatives has been vindicated on its alarm that an unprofessional work might have been done to deceive Nigerians on the allegation of missing billions of dollars. The senator-elect consequently called on the incoming federal government to investigate the PwC for its role in the shady saga that has now unfolded and report them to such bodies as International Federation of Accounts and ICANN to face disciplinary action. As Nigerians get set for the inauguration of the president-elect Muhammadu Buhari, Lagos State Governor Babatude Fashola says law and order will play a critical role in the process of changing the nation for the better. Fashola emphasized this at the opening ceremony of 32nd Synod, the Anglican Communion in Lagos. For his part, the Diocesan Bishop of Lagos, Adebola Ademowo, expressed optimism that the incoming Buhari administration will take Nigeria out of the woods. Abiel Oluwole has more in the story presented from a studio.
Less than a month to the inauguration of President-elect Muhammadu Buhari, Nigerians across party divide have been speaking on their expectation from the incoming administration. Though the gathering is religious in nomenclature, there was also a platform to speak on the ingredients needed for the progress of the country. According to Governor Fashola, for Nigeria to move up the ladder in the Committee of Nations, premium must be placed on the enforcement of the rule of law.
For me, law and order is not just police and security agencies. It requires all of us to show leadership in the place where we are leaders, in our homes, in our churches, in our mosques.
While expressing optimism about the future of Nigeria, the Diocesan Bishop of Lagos, Adebola Ademowa, called on citizens to pray for Buhari administration in order to achieve desired change for the country.
Buhari is going to take us out of the woods. All this Boko Haram thing and poverty all over the place, unemployment, security, wahala. The man is up to the task.
As the clock ticks on the swearing-in of the Buhari-Osinbajo administration, the expectations of Nigerians, according to political watchers, is the fulfillment of the electioneering promises.
Senate President David Mark has told People's Democratic Party faithfuls to put the failures of the past elections behind them. He said they should be prepared to build a strong and united party ready to play credible opposition. Mark, according to a statement in Abuja, stated this at a parley with PDP senators and House of Representatives members-elect. Mark added that the not too impressive showing of the PDP in the last elections may in the long term be a blessing to the party and the nation. Mark, however, stated that the bickering within and among party faithfuls, all trading blames over the poor showing at the polls, should stop. The National Working Committee of the People's Democratic Party has constituted a post-election assessment committee to review and evaluate the party's performance in the just concluded general elections. This is contained in a statement issued by Mr. Lisa Metu, the PDP National Publicity Secretary, on Sunday in Abuja. The statement said that the committee, which would be formally inaugurated on May 5th at the party's national headquarters, would make recommendations on how to reposition the party. It listed the membership of the committee to include Senator Ike Ekweremadu, Chairman, Governors Godswill Akpabio of Akwa Ibom, Theodore Orji of Abia, and Ibrahim Dankwabo of Gombe State. Other members are Mr. Nyesom Wike, River State Governor-elect, Malam Ibrahim Shekarau, Minister of Education, Alhaji Abdulkadir Kure, Mr. Emeka Ihedioa, Deputy Speaker, House of Representatives, Mr. Abamoro, Minister of Internal Affairs, and Halaji Adamu Waziri. The statement also named Senator Ahmed Makarfi, Mr. Makojuola Ogundigbe, Mr. Pegba Otemolu, Mrs. Fumi Ayola as members, while Senator Walid Jibril would serve as Secretary of the committee. It's the CoreTV News on the hour. We'll take a break and return with more stories.
One continent, 54 countries, over 2,000 languages, but united with similar interests. As news breaks, we give you in-depth analysis around Africa every Monday on CoreTV News.
Thank you for being there. And for more on CoreTV News, you can visit our social media platforms. On Facebook, facebook.com/CoreTV News. Our Twitter handle at CoreTV News NG. And on YouTube, youtube.com/CoreTV, let us face the news. The lawmakers-elect for the Ekiti State House of Assembly have said there will not be rubber-stamp legislators for Governor Ayodele Fayose, whom they described as their mentor and leader. All the 26 lawmakers are members of the People's Democratic Party and die-hard loyalists of the governor. Speaking at a press conference in Ado-Ekiti, the lawmakers-elect for Moba Constituency 1, Kola Oluwawole, who spoke on behalf of his colleagues, assured the people that matters brought before them by Fayose would be subjected to thorough debate in the interest of the people. He added that the next assembly would protect the principles of separation of powers in spite of belonging to the same party with the governor. On the impeachment crisis rocking the assembly, the lawmakers in waiting claimed they had reached out to Speaker Adewale Omiri on the need to tread the path of honor, but said the overtures were rebuffed. He added that Governor Adams Oshiomhole of Edo State inherited a PDP-dominated assembly from Osumbo, but he was not driven out of town because of this, and urged Omiri and other APC lawmakers to forget about personal ambitions and give the needed cooperation to the governor. The Akwa Ibom State chapter of the Labour Party, in conjunction with its national headquarters, Abuja, has suspended 11 of its members and expelled 5 of its former state executive members. A statement signed by the party's state chairman, Professor Ekeng Anam Undu, state secretary, Elder Utip Etebet, and endorsed by the national Deputy Chairman, Mr. Callistus Okafor in Uyo, said the affected persons were investigated and found to be guilty of anti-party activities and display of unwarranted impunity. The party accordingly advised the general public to be cautious in dealing with the persons affected, especially in matters relating to Labour Party. The party maintained that it had begun the process to challenge the outcome of the fraudulent and miscarried so-called election on April 11, 2015 at the tribunal. According to the party, the decision to suspend and expel some of its erring members is to bring sanity to the party. Okafor said those expelled from the party were members of the former executive that had been dissolved. The Rivers State chapter of the People's Democratic Party has cautioned the State Independent Electoral Commission to obey court order and shun any temptation that will make it go ahead with the planned local government elections in the state. RISEC fixed May 23, 2015 for the State Council elections, a development that did not go down well with the state PDP, which went to court to stop the conduct of the polls. A federal high court sitting in Port Harcourt had adjourned till further notice a matter brought before it by the PDP seeking to stop the Independent National Electoral Commission from releasing voters' register to the RISEC and the Rivers State government for the conduct of the council elections in the state. The state chairman of the PDP, Felix Obua, advised the commission that any attempt to proceed with the planned council election, which has been scheduled for May 23, 2015, would amount to an open disrespect for the court that had directed that the status quo be maintained. Obua, who spoke in a statement signed by Special Advisor Media Jerry Needham, explained that anything done to conduct the election against the decision of the court would be a nullity. The incoming government of Nigeria, that of Muhammadu Buhari, has been advised to make the Nigeria's educational system girl-friendly. The Buhari administration has also been urged to put more effort in the publicity of girl-child education, especially in the area of information and communications technology. Nigeria's first female commercial pilot, Chinyere Kalu, who was the guest speaker at a one-day seminar organized by teenage girls by the Youths for Technology Foundation in Owerri, the Imo State capital, said a recent European Union statistics shows that out of over 7 million people working in the ICT sector around the world, only 30 were women. She stresses that the research also concluded that the ICT sector is rapidly growing by the day, thereby creating over 100,000 new jobs every year. She further noted that the major way to reverse this trend is to encourage the participation of young girls to take up ICT-related careers, revealing that Nigerian women have one of the lowest participation. Kalu, however, called on the government to encourage the girl child through scholarships, free education and good incentives, which would go a long way to motivate the girl child so as to get more involved in science and technology. The First Baptist Convention Owerri has expressed gratitude to God for the success of this year's convention as well as the each free elections in the state, calling on the Governor Rochas Okorocha to carry everybody along. According to the ministry, the outcome of the convention and the elections was a prayer answered. Our correspondent Ajibade Awofeso in this report projects their reactions towards the peaceful atmosphere the state is enjoying.
The president, Imo Baptist Conference, while talking to CoreTV News, said the governor's gesture of joining them at the convention ground was indeed a plus to him at the polls. He also said the peace witnessed during the entire election process within and outside the state is a proof of prayer answered.
Already, the peace we are enjoying today, following the elections we had prayed for before that election came. And we know that when peace takes its course, every other facet of the society continues to enjoy the progress that we are talking about.
The resident pastor gave his response while talking to CoreTV News as to what exactly has been their motivation to have always embarked on things considered national value.
This is our foundation. We are Bible-believing people. All over the world, the Baptist people are known as the people of the book. So the Bible is our source of authority, our source of practice. It's our belief. We believe the Bible strongly. We don't have catechism or written documents by other people. The Bible is our source of faith and practice. And that is what has led us thus far.
He as well congratulated Governor-elect and called on him to carry everyone along, urging him to consult good hands in road construction for durability. Ajibade Awofeso, CoreTV News, Owerri.
The Ogun State government has described the worldview of the state governorship candidate of the People's Democratic Party, Boyega Isiaka, as too narrow over the latter's criticism of the light rail projects the state had signed with the Chinese civil engineering construction company last week. The Commissioner for Information and Strategy, Yusuf Olaniyonu, said this in a statement in Abeokuta. Isiaka had last Thursday condemned the rail project, describing it as a misplaced priority shortly after submitting its petition to the National and State House of Assembly Election Petitions Tribunal in Abeokuta, challenging the victory of the state governor, Senator Bukunle Amosun, who won the April 11th governorship election. He had argued that the project should not be priority of the state for now, as there were schools and health facilities that had decayed and needed urgent attention. He noted that there were many things the governor did not tell the people of the state about the project. However, Olaniyonu said the project was a contractor-financed arrangement and it would open the state economy to massive investment and create employment opportunities for the youth. The troops of the Nigerian Army have arrested a man said to be a supplier of fuel and food to members of the Boko Haram sect at Daban Shata, a suburb of Baga, Borno State. Director of Defense Information Chris Olukolade said the military intelligence had been on the trail of the man until he was picked up in the early hours of Sunday. The defense spokesman stated that the soldiers also rescued an additional 260 women and children near Chalawa village in Adamawa State. According to him, the women and children who were prevented from escaping from their Boko Haram captors were rescued and taken back to their communities in Madagali local government area after being profiled. He added that some of the rescued women said they had to escape from their homes when the Madagali area came under attack from the insurgents, while others said they were abducted and taken to the area. The Borno government has commended the Nigerian military for its efforts in rescuing about 500 children and women abducted by suspected Boko Haram insurgents in Sambisa forest. The military had last week rescued the women in batches following an operation at the forest. Governor Kashim Shettima gave the commendation in a statement signed by Special Advisor on Communication Malam Isa Gusau in Maiduguri. Shettima described the military operation as gratifying. He urged the military to sustain the tempo by freeing other abducted persons at the forest. Shettima expressed hope that the military will also rescue the abducted Chibok girls within a short while. The death toll in the clashes between some villagers and soldiers in 3 villages of Kadako, Kume and Wadata in Wase local government area of Plateau State has risen to 39 as 9 more bodies have been uncovered. Soldiers said to be on reprisal in over 40 trucks were said to have stormed the villages following reports of an alleged killing of 4 soldiers at Angwan Nami carrying Lamido local government area of Taraba State. The traditional ruler of Kadako, Ponzi Kadako Lot Inde, said that the death toll could still rise as soldiers with armored tanks had pursued some villagers right inside the bush where many of them were shot and killed. The traditional ruler said the entire village had been deserted, adding that he had fled since, according to him, he was target of the attack. He explained that some women in his area told him that when the soldiers arrived at his house, they told him they were told to kill the traditional ruler first. Spokesman for the Special Task Force Kedichi Iweha disputed the claim in some reports that more than 400 people had been killed. It said it would be erroneous to believe that soldiers would turn round and start killing civilians. The police detectives attached to Ota Division, led by the Divisional Police Officer CSP Muideen Adisa, have arrested some deadly cultists and armed robbers who terrorize innocent people of around Ota in Adodo, Ota local government area of Ogun State. The operation was carried out following a tip-off leading to the arrest of 3 major ringleaders belonging to Aye Black Axe Confraternity. Those arrested include Bamidele Adejare, 18, Sadiq Badamosi, 22, and Olamilekon Amola, 22. They were said to have been arrested at Ijako area in Ota on Saturday at about 10 in an uncompleted building with dangerous weapons such as guns, cutlasses, and charms, and were said to be planning to unleash terror on the people of the area. The suspected cultists have confessed to many crimes, including participating in notable court clashes that led to the death of many people within the axis. In the same vein, police detectives on Sunday, while on normal routine patrol along Alasia area, Ijokuota, intercepted 2 men and a lady carrying a bag. When the police conducted a search on them, a locally made double-barreled cut-to-size gun and some live cartridges were recovered from them in the bag. They have since confessed committing many crimes in the area and in Ogun State at large. President Goodluck Jonathan has commiserated with Muslims nationwide on the death of the chief imam of Abuja National Mosque, Utaz Musa Muhammad. Muhammad, 68, died at the National Hospital, Abuja, on Saturday during a brief illness. In a statement by Special Advisor on Media and Publicity, Ruben Abati, the president observed that the deceased in his lifetime inspired his followers with exemplary lifestyle, moral conduct, and teachings. He added that the late Islamic cleric, who stood out as a passionate and diligent promoter of interreligious understanding and cooperation. The president said Muhammad would always be remembered as a bridge builder and a gentleman in every circumstance. Muhammad was among residents of the Federal Capital Territory who were led by Vice President Namadi Sambo to pay Jonathan Easter homage at the Presidential Villa, Abuja, on April 5. We'll take another break on the CoreTV News at 4 and return with more. Please stay with us.
Every day, every hour, and every minute, news break in Nigeria. Things happen so fast, it's most times difficult to track and comprehend them. But that's what we do right here on DG360. 2015, would you want to come back again?
It's like asking Jesus Christ if he knew he was going to die, will you want to come back as the savior of the world?
We do not just help you track the stories, we break them down, explore all the angles, analyze the issues so that you can fully comprehend the stories and use them to make the right decisions.
Thank you for being there. On the foreign scene, more than 3,400 migrants were rescued at sea, mainly off Libya, as Europe seeks ways to deal with the flood of people trying to reach its shores following a series of deadly shipwrecks. A total of 3,427 people were picked up during the operation coordinated by the Italian Coast Guard. While they said it was a very busy day, it was not a record for the Coast Guard, which coordinated the rescue of 3,791 migrants on April 12 and another 2,850 the following day. French patrol boat Commandant Bayrat, which was sent to boost EU patrols to deal with the influx of migrant boats in the Mediterranean, picked up 217 people off the coast of Libya. The migrants, all men, had been on board 3 boats, the authorities said, adding that 2 suspected people smugglers were also caught and would be handed over to Italian police. In Italy, the Coast Guard announced late at night that 16 vessels had rescued a total of 3,427 people on Saturday alone in an operation coordinated from their headquarters in Rome. In addition to the French patrol boat, the rescue operation mobilized 4 Italian Coast Guard ships, 2 Italian Navy vessels, 2 cargo ships, 2 Italian customs ships, and 2 tugs. Most notably, the Navy said on Twitter that the frigate Bersaglier had rescued 778 migrants, while the patrol boat Vega had picked up another 672. And that's it on the news at 4. Join us at 6 again for the global news. Thank you for watching. I am Ebolomo Adebule.